Thank you again, sir.
How's it going? Good. How you doing? Good.
Louis?
How's it going? Okay. Good to see you. Okay. Good morning. I am Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and I'm happy to be here as we announce the National EMS Week. I have a special affinity towards men and women in EMS, these emergency first responders. As you know, for many years I was a member of the New York City Police Department, and I cannot tell you how many times they have really been the cavalry. You could be on a job, a difficult job, and really don't know how to handle such an emergency situation, either a heart attack victim, someone that's in a car accident, and as you're just trying to hold on long enough for the experts to come. And from time and time again, I can remember throughout my 22-year in the department how EMS just responded and really just brought a level of calmness to the atmosphere with their level of professionalism. And no matter what the weather, everybody talks about the mailman deliver mails in any type of weather. Well, you need to check out the EMS. They are there through snowstorms, through fires, through emergencies. Those men and women who responded during 9/11, as we look at the opening of the museum the other day, a countless number of EMS employees and first responders were there, and I just cannot thank you guys enough for what you do every day. So we're here. The fire commissioner unfortunately wasn't able to make it, but we're here with division from the Division 3, Chief Robert Hanafe, also from the Division 3, Deputy Chief Louis Basso and Alvin Seriel. And we're here with also EMS Operations Division Chief Stephen Moriella. We are celebrating the 40th anniversary of National EMS Week. These are members of the New York's Bravest. FDNY EMS operates 67% of the units in the New York City 9/11 system. 800 dedicated men and women. It almost seems as though there are 8,000 because they're everywhere, but in reality, such a small group of men and women provide such a vital services, responding to approximately 400,000 calls of service in the borough, 400,000. National Emergency Medical Service Week brings together local communities and medical personnel to publicize safety and honor the dedication of those who provide the day-to-day life-saving services of medicines on the front line. Long before a person of emergency care enters a hospital, for the most part, they are treated by a member of the EMS. This year's theme is EMS Dedicated for Life. In 1865, American First Ambulance Service was instituted by the Army, and we see the continuation of the great tradition of that. And that's why today we have a proclamation dedicated to EMS Week in the Borough of Brooklyn. Whereas it is most fitting that we recognize those extraordinary individuals and organizations who are committed on providing quality emergency care, maintaining public safety, and operating to improve the quality of life in our communities. And whereas all of Brooklyn joins in spirit to recognize and pay tribute to the New York City Fire Department's Bureau of Emergency Medical Service for providing 24-hour emergency service care to those who experience sudden illnesses or injury, as well as first responders for our local police officers, firefighters, and residents during the tragic 9/11 terrorist attacks. And whereas, on behalf of all Brooklynites, I salute the Bureau of Emergency Medical Service for their consistently excellent medical care to our residents. I commend the emergency nurses, medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, and volunteers for their compensation and dedication. And I thank all of them for they have done to help our community move forward as one Brooklyn. Dated on the March 18th to the 24th, 2014, Eric Adams, Borough President of the Borough of Brooklyn, also known as the center of the universe. And so I thank you for what you do every day, and the people of this borough thank you. Can we have one of the representatives speak on behalf?
Sure. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us. On behalf of Chief Hannafy and the officers that are with me, I want to thank Borough President Adams for welcoming us. We come here every year, and the Borough President's office is kind enough to honor us and to recognize the men and women of the emergency medical services, not just here in Brooklyn, but all over the world that are out there on a regular basis, 24 hours a day, putting their lives out there ahead of themselves, ahead of their families, ahead of everything else to provide the service that's so required. Our call volume seems to go up by almost 10% every year. We're doing a lot more work, and it doesn't seem like we're getting a lot more people, but our people are working very, very hard. I've spent the majority of my career in Brooklyn, even though I'm from Long Island, but I consider myself a Brooklynite at this point because I love this borough. And this just goes to demonstrate the close relationship that the FDNY's EMS has with the Borough President's office, and I hope that this relationship continues for as long as we will be here and for as long as the Borough President will have us. So again, thank you very much on behalf of the men and women of the Emergency Medical Service for your support, for your time, and for honoring us here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. We're going to take a photo, and I just really want to touch on that. We will welcome this event every year. It's a rich tradition, and it's an opportunity for us to pause a moment and recognize the job that's done by EMS. And I can't say enough about their response. Not only do they respond to calls of service for everyday civilians, but they play a vital role for the firefighters, for the police officers, and even members of their rank and file when they are involved in tragic situations. EMS is one of the first responders when a police officer is shot or a member of FDNY firefighter falls because of a particular fire or tragedy. This is a remarkable operation, a very professional operation, and when all other aspects of government has a level of uncertainty, EMS moves in a very smooth, calm manner, and it takes years and years of training to have a service in EMS, a first responding service that we have in New York. We have one of the finest services that you can have, and they will go into environments without a firearm, without any other form of protective equipment, and just respond to the emergencies as they come forward. And we can't thank them enough. And if we can just take a week just to acknowledge what they do every day and the lives that they save and the number of people that they come in contact with. Hundreds of thousands respond to and reach out to EMS for service. And again, here in the borough of Brooklyn, we appreciate them. We cannot thank the institution enough, and we look forward to young men and women joining the rank and files of EMS so they can provide a vital service to our city and to our borough in the borough of Brooklyn. Thank you very much. Let's take a picture. I always thought they had the coolest uniforms.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you.